Hello and welcome to Kognito Key. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We're going to dive right into something that's literally all around us. We are looking at an invisible, microscopic invader today. It is everywhere. It's in the air you're breathing, the soil you walk on, and maybe even in your home right this very second. It is known as the Alternaria fungi.
Get this, 20%. This single, ubiquitous little fungus is responsible for a staggering 20% of agricultural crop losses worldwide. And if that isn't concerning enough, this opportunistic organism doesn't just stop at plants. It can actually infect humans too.
Section 1. Meet the Alternaria fungi. Classification and habitat.
So, who exactly is this invader and where does it come from? Well, Alternaria belongs to a very specific group in the fungal kingdom called Mycelium, which are often called fungi imperfecti. The really crucial point here is that they completely lack a sexual stage in their life cycle. Instead, they reproduce purely asexually through a process called the anamorph state, by germinating from spores known as Conidiospores.
And it definitely isn't just one type. There are nearly 299 different species in the genus Alternaria, but the dominant one, the one you're going to find absolutely everywhere, from the soil to our food and even just resting on our clothes, is a species called Alternaria alternata. Talk about being cosmopolitan, right?
Section 2. Anatomy of a fungus. Morphology.
Let's zoom in a little closer, shall we, and look at the exact anatomy of these fungi under a high-powered microscope. There are basically three main anatomical parts you need to know. First up, the mycelium, which forms this rapidly growing, irregularly branched network that actually turns a gray-brownish color as it matures. Then we have the Conidiospores. These are short, bent stems with swollen tips. Finally, growing right at those tips, we find the conidia. These are the actual chain-like spores with tapered ends and multiple segments.
Now, species like Alternaria alternata actually have a secret weapon up their sleeves. They produce a special pigment called DHN melanin right inside their cell walls. You can kind of think of this as a dark, microscopic armor. This pigment is absolutely vital because it plays a crucial role in giving the fungus its pathogenicity, meaning its ability to actually cause disease.
Section 3. The dual threat. Toxins and characteristics. Let's shift our focus to how this necrotrophic fungus actually attacks. And necrotrophic just means it kills host cells to feed on them. It essentially uses chemical warfare, producing two very distinct types of secondary metabolites. On one hand, we have phytotoxins, which specifically target plants, causing severe cell death or necrosis. On the other hand, we have mycotoxins. There are over 70 types of these, and they specifically target humans and animals, causing a whole set of diseases collectively known as Alternaria toxicosis.
Section 4. The plant pathogen, agricultural impact. So how does this play out in our fields? Let's dive into exactly how these spores orchestrate their attack on our crops, leading to those massive global losses we talked about earlier. The invasion process happens in three clear steps. Step 1, the spores disseminating the air and eventually land right on the surface of a plant host. Step 2, they wait for the perfect conditions, specifically moisture and a high heat between 31 and 35 degrees Celsius. This triggers the formation of a short germ tube. And finally, step 3, conidiophores develop conidia that literally penetrate the plant's cellular defenses to invade and steal its nutrients. It's like a microscopic heist.
And this leads us to the devastating aftermath. The visible damage left behind on the foliage and fruits is just severe. We see rapid necrosis and chlorosis, which presents as dark lesions, spots, blisters, and severe rotting of the leaves. This is the exact mechanism that leads to huge pre- and post-harvest agricultural losses.
Section 5. Opportunistic human infections.
But crops aren't the only victims here. Now, we really must pivot to the chilling reality that these ubiquitous spores target us too. They can actually enter the human body through minor cuts, wounds, or incisions. Once inside, they can target a variety of areas, especially in people with suppressed immunity. We're talking cutaneous and subcutaneous lesions right on the skin. If inhaled, they can colonize the paranasal sinuses, causing severe sinusitis. They can even affect the eyes, specifically the cornea, and, believe it or not, target the keratin tissues in our nails.
Section 6. The fungal life cycle.
Alternaria is incredibly resilient and adaptable, so let's bring this explainer toward a close by looking at how it survives practically anywhere. The crucial point to take away is that Alternaria survives solely through an asexual saprophytic phase, meaning it lives off dead organic matter. When conditions get tough, the spores simply detach. They sit patiently in the soil, floating in the air or hiding in plant debris as dormant spores, just waiting for the perfect warm and moist environment to strike again.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question. Where will this invisible invader strike next? I mean, it could be the fruit sitting in your kitchen right now, or the soil out in your garden. Well, thank you so much for exploring this fascinating microscopic world with me today. If you found this explainer helpful and interesting, please make sure to subscribe to Kognito Key, and definitely do not forget to like and share this explainer with your friends. See you next time.